Welcome to this week's episode of Transistor Radio. And unlike any other week we've ever done, we actually have good audio. This is honestly shocking. We got, almost called you John. We got Jordan, Dylan, and Doug in studio at SCSP.
Shout out Eric Schmidt. We appreciate your lovely podcast booth.
Your dollars are hard at work.
Yeah. And if you want to make them work harder, we have other ideas too. Okay? Hit us up at Semi-Analysis. You know where to ring us.
You have my email.
You got my email.
Dude, the craziest thing is I one time had like an hour and a half long conversation with him on the AITCO while he was in his plane the whole time.
Dude.
And his video quality was good. And I was like, damn, I guess this is like what like rich people internet is in the air.
This is what Starlink is for.
Because like, well, I think it was pre-Starlink. No, it was 23. It was probably Starlink, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But he was just like flying, and it's like me and Dan are going through AITCO stuff. And were you on the call too?
No, I was on a later call. Not that
Okay.
one. Anyways.
Yeah, so we were going through AITCO stuff, and like, you know, we got him all educated on NeoCloud stuff, but it was just really interesting that his internet quality was so good. Also, his seat quality. Like, it was such a comfortable looking seat.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing, right? People talk about, oh, I want to be rich enough for a private jet. I also want to be rich enough for a private jet, to be clear. But these private jets, like, there are levels to this shit, right? Like, there are like the like few $1 million like shit tier.
The irony though about the Qatari jet is it was like not good enough for their Emirate. And they were like selling it because it was used goods.
What the heck? I didn't know
Wait,
that.
what?
Yeah, no,
Trump's jet.
Yeah, Trump's jet. They had it on the market for 3 years, and they like couldn't offload
Is it like
no one wanted
super
the jet.
luxuriously interior designed?
No, I just think
There's probably like gold-plated
Gold.
fucking seats, dude. He probably shits on fucking gold, dude.
yeah. All thank you.
And the engineer was probably like, well, if you make it a gold-plated seat, the toilet's gonna be heavier instead of being a shitty plastic one. It's gonna be heavier. It's gonna make our fuel economy worse. And the Qatari prince is like, and
Yeah. Wow, this is
I'll take your passport if you don't do this.
Okay. This is a very amazing start to this episode.
Public service announcement. So we're trying to be the change we want to see in the world. I'm trying to put together a letter saying that maybe we shouldn't cut basic science funding by half, and maybe we should still have OPT and international students in America.
Speak for yourself. You're USAID funded.
If you're, I wish. But I mean, no one. Excuse me, no one is anymore, Dylan. If you're an AI researcher and want to defend science,
Jordan, I gotta stop you. You know, someone in our company, in our Slack, constantly, like, anytime your name comes up, he's like, I thought he was gone now that USAID is pulled because I made that one tweet about you being USAID funded as a joke, and he like legitimately thinks that.
Don't cry for me. Cry for the Malawis who are like
no, but
getting
seriously,
malaria now.
like we need immigration.
Yeah,
we need high skilled immigration, like really fucking bad.
I mean,
and we need all these PhDs to be funded. I don't know if I told you. I think I said this on our prior Transistor Radio. A girl I went on a date with, she literally like had to cancel her PhD. It's like now it's hitting close to home. Now it's hitting close to home.
When
now
it's
the
brown
believer.
women affecting Dylan Patel, all of a sudden, man locks in. He's like, okay, I gotta find my PhD waifu. Like everything's changed.
They're rapidly evaporating from the market. This is a crisis of national proportions.
There's a billion person, maybe 500 million person pipeline in potential in TAM that is being cut in half. It's being murdered. Dylan's TAM is getting destroyed.
Brother, if we had 250 million PhD students, that'd be absurd.
Yeah, some would say that'd be pretty awesome.
We'll get there.
I don't think so because
Yeah.
PhDs by and large don't do shit.
Yeah,
But they do a lot of
But
fun
they
research.
do enough
They
to
do a lot of
create the
research.
future, which is what we need to preserve.
I actually
Let me good bio PhDs, good computer science, good ML, good like material science, those kind of PhDs, awesome.
yeah,
humanities PhDs,
We're talking
let's
about
fucking cut 'em.
We're talking about NSF.
Yes,
we're talking
yes,
about
yes,
NIH.
we're only talking about
okay.
we're only talking about science.
Math, physics funding in
Actually-
2025 is being funded at half the rate it was
guys-
funded in 2024.
You guys, okay, so
There's no woke in that. These are
No, I know,
numbers.
So actually, I have a even hotter take. Sorry, but PhDs are good for the economy because essentially they're slave labor. Any PhD student you talk to, they get paid stipends to work their little asses off to do all these researchers. And the only way we can compete with China is to pay them less and work them harder and make them all do PhD programs. So what we need is 100 million PhDs. That's the answer. Think about how good this would be for the economy, dude.
This is how we're suppressing consumption. It's just keeping people in grad school.
Because here's what happens is like as China becomes a consumption-based economy, we have to become an investment-based economy. So what we need to do is we need to have miles and miles and miles of PhD bunk beds. Okay, they're living in camps.
And these PhDs, they're not researching; they're assembling iPhones in America.
Assembling iPhones. Yeah, it's physical hand delivered. No, I don't know.
Mechanical engineering PhDs now assemble iPhones in America.
Hey,
if they're 13 years old and they're child labor, that's fine.
Yeah, it's like the back to the countryside theory of mechanical engineering. First we will have you assemble iPhones for 10 years. Only then will we teach you equations.
100%.
Doug, random question. What can you tell us about the Cottage workshop economy? I'm sure you know of this.
What?
Just generally about it.
In this one, or
just in the world, in the general, in history?
I don't know in general history. I mean, I feel like you would know.
Workshop?
Cottage workshop?
So I do know about Cottage. I need to know what Cottage workshops in America making specialized backpacking equipment.
Perfect.
Which is,
Go.
I mean, it's just like anything else in America. There's some guy who's really, really passionate about this. He starts making stuff on his own because he's like, the mainline backpacks are really shitty and they don't know how to make them right. So then they buy a ton of...
Isn't it just that they're 2 ounces too heavy?
Yeah. Well, hey, 10 ounces, okay? Ounces make pounds. Anyways, so he starts making it in his garage. And then all of a sudden people are like, dude, where do I get this? And then he starts selling it to people on the internet.
So this is just the male version of Etsy.
100%.
Yeah.
There's
I've seen the PC gaming mouse light fetish where they just
Well, our sales guy, one of them literally did customized keyboards during COVID.
No. Oh.
Cash.
Yeah, Cash. Sorry. I was thinking the other one.
Which his name is
we started,
Cash.
Yeah.
It's Cash.
You started with Sales Guide and LED, and that's where I got. I was like, no, different LEDs. But yeah, I forgot the customized. Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
Anyways,
All right,
John, what do you think about
Sorry,
this?
let's go back to the actual topic, right? Which is immigration. Let's reform it.
Yeah.
Funding for science. Let's reform it.
Yeah. We need. I mean, Jensen says 50% of the AI researchers are in China. This number is probably true. And my favorite thing that I keep psyoping and fearing people into stuff is go to a STEM conference in the United States. It's a ton of old dudes who are in their 50s. Go to a STEM conference in Asia, and it's maybe because they're beautiful skin, you can't age them, but they look like there's 20-year-olds as far as I can see, 25-year-olds, and they outnumber the white people by 10-1, and you're like, okay, maybe these guys don't know what they're doing.
Well, hold
today.
on, no one on this podcast is white, right? Because we've already decided that Jews aren't white, so Jordan's not white.
Getting into this.
Oh my.
And then Doug's not white. He's only half white, right? He's half Asian.
Yeah.
And then John's full Asian, and then I'm Indian. So this is the not white guy podcast.
Welcome to Transistor Radio.
Anyways, in conclusion, if you're an AI researcher and you want to sign a letter saying we like immigrants and we like science and NSF help you in your journey, DM me. I'm out there.
Okay, but my favorite part about this is what? Is this Transistor Radio, or is this going to China Talk? Because all 1,000 of... No, I think there might be multiple thousands. Thousands.
I think it's 10,000 viewers for...
Consistently?
Something like that.
3,500.
That's just Spotify, though, right? Are we putting it elsewhere?
Yeah, John, get to work.
We have a YouTube channel.
Oh, what? Wow.
Don't talk to me until there's a TikTok, all right?
Okay, wow.
Wait, Jordan, there's a China Talk TikTok, right?
Yeah,
I know. We got our clips guy. He's hard at work.
Yeah.
Okay, I from what I heard...
Shout out to Abraham.
From what I heard, the TikTok was made without your approval.
No. Sign of the times.
That was fake news.
Look, Trump's.
At some point, it was made without your approval, and then you approved it.
Neither confirm or deny, but I don't know. I was anti it for a while, and now I'm just a slave to the algorithm.
Oh, Doug keeps telling me hey, let's do social media, all this, right? I'm like, great, but the one I won't allow is Blue Sky. We're not going on Blue Sky.
Can we talk about what happened to the semi-analysis Twitter feed? What?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so simple,
don't
right?
read into it. It's people have thought all this shit now we're all paid shills. No, it's much simpler. In fact, there's no signal into it at all.
One day I'm I think on the ops stand up, right? The ops stand up, someone's like, oh, talk about social media, let's do it. And and then it's the same rigmarole. We're like, oh, we should do social media. Cash, the same guys like, we should do
marketing,
social
sales
media
guy, yeah.
and marketing. And everyone's like, yeah. And then we're like, oh, analysts have to do threads, but nothing ever happens.
Yeah.
And then one day I'm like, well, why don't we just do a bonus for this, right? And so now there's a monthly bonus for whoever gets the most engagement, and that led to hilarity, right?
Yeah.
Hilarity ensued.
Yeah. Engagement maxing is very different than content maxing.
It's a hard skill, and I honestly don't think you want to rot your analyst's brains in this direction.
Yeah, okay,
think
I don't
it's net
disagree.
negative.
No, the thing is, like, most of them treat it as just a chore. They do one thread, and it's like fine.
Yeah.
It's just like there's like one person is
One
like
person,
fucking
yeah.
like.
So you have to think about this is like, okay, let me help you walk through the internal process. Every month, an analyst, and there's many of them. There's like 10. How many? 50?
No,
I don't even know.
there's 32 of us, so an analyst is like
Minus
20.
8, minus
4 for that thing that we're not talking about publicly, but
so
minus 12,
12, minus 12, minus 12.
and then minus ops.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
8 is ops. Well,
8
no,
is
no,
ops?
7 is ops.
Wait,
7 is ops,
what?
Not including me. No, let's not
Okay,
talk about this right now, dude. This is not a good use.
All right.
Michelle,
Anyway,
David,
okay.
Dash.
So
6 ops.
I have a better topic.
I guess
7
the
ops.
data-
7 ops.
Can we
seven
do a
ops.
better topic than this?
sorry. Okay, no,
wait, no, let's
sorry.
continue
Let me
the
just
story.
finish. God damn it. We could like not us like 5. We like, no, you're wrong. Anyway, so pretty much what happened is
That is also the internal
Yeah, there's a
Slack.
channel. There's a channel where he's like, make a thread, gun to your head. You got to post this once a month, and then everyone just like makes their threads and whatever. But it's like it's free mic. Essentially, it's like anyone who really wants to make threads is gonna make threads. So, is there an AMD fanboy within semi-analysis? The answer is yes. Now, is this AMD fanboy maybe an unhinged poster when it comes specifically to how he feels about the AMD software stack? Also, yes.
Well,
And
so he's a fanboy, but he's also the biggest hater, right? So
yeah,
it's all good.
No, it's yeah, but we'll just leave it at that. And we're not going to be posting on AMD. Oh my god.
So the best thing, I don't know if everyone has the context, this brain rot slop had gotten so far that there was a post of AMD, NVIDIA, just images of their logos, and it was thumbs up if you like AMD, like
And
cheers
heart-
if you
heart
like,
ra-
heart
yeah,
if you like
yeah,
NVIDIA on
NVIDIA.
LinkedIn.
But you
And
know
it
what-
got like 600 fucking like likes on LinkedIn
so-
and like 100 comments, and it's like, what is wrong with you people?
Yeah, and so that's the problem is that like guys, if you want us to do non-engagement slop, engage with our non-slop. Like the slop works too
The
well.
non-slop gets like 50, 100, right?
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like,
it's
like clearly like the incentives
So
are here for us
the
to be
incentives
idiots.
are us to slop away, and like specifically on the social media stuff. And like maybe the answer is, and actually the answer is, we're gonna have new channels, we're doing a lot of stuff. But look, we're experimenting, we're trying new things. Like this is just how it is. Like some of the stuff we literally didn't know until we like started posting and like getting
I
information.
mean, like I have people
reading-
DM me like, "What is this garbage?" And I look at the post, I'm like, "This is complete garbage." Like what? But like I don't look at the post, so it's like
Yeah, so just look, we're trying new things here at Semi-Analysis. For better, for worse, but if you want to figure out how to get better or worse, you have to try stuff. And so yeah, that's the completion of the arc. Anyways.
Very good. Okay, so I want to do our quarterly AI Mandate of Heaven check-in. Last off in the D tier, we had Meta and XAI. Any updates on either of them?
Honestly,
Meta stays there, but XAI is moving up.
Yeah, XAI
Move
C
it up.
tier. Yeah.
Rock 3 was fucking fire.
Yeah. And I don't know, just Meta just stays in the D tier. Yeah, RP.
I'm hopeful, actually. I've heard some good things.
Hope springs eternal.
Since
They're like
the
Intel.
DeepSeek catastrophe and the Meta 4 debacle, Llama 4, I've heard about a lot of good things.
And they've got enough money to keep taking swings. It's not like
Yeah.
they're gonna throw in the towel anytime
Well,
soon.
I also
I mean,
wanna
like, okay, let's be clear. Like, we gotta add Apple to this, and Apple is an F minus minus minus.
Yeah. I guess there is no E tier, right? We'll just do F tier.
Okay.
Or L tier. How's that sound?
Yeah,
tier.
I mean, at least they're on the chart. They didn't even make it last time.
Yeah.
So this is kind of an upgrade.
We remembered them this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's only because you've been staring at your iPhone for the last 10 minutes trying to bring up this topic
Yeah.
while Doug and I go off rail.
Okay, so another thing too. Let's specifically say, it's not like Meta doesn't cook. They're just like cooking in a way they have incentives for. A lot of the GPU spending on Rexus, specifically for their algorithms, are like definitely paying off. There's a lot of ways to measure this, but like CPM is magically continues to go up, which it shouldn't if there's more impressions. Like their revenue from the GPUs that they are essentially shoving down into these giant and MTI and stuff like that is it's helping. Revenue isn't not inflecting, but it is like
Also, like
getting
more
less.
than like what, like 60% of GP spend is Rexus.
We'll just say 50 plus. Yeah, so half plus. But
Rexus for the uninitiated is the ad
recommendation system.
So what story shows up first when you open up Instagram? Why is it the girl that you have a crush on?
Yeah.
What post shows up?
Yeah.
Why is it the meme that has like alt-right tendencies? Why is the ad that shows up one about like how to last longer in bed?
Yeah.
It's like this is all the
how
Rexus.
do they know your secret unspoken desires just from one glance, just from one pause on a feed?
God,
Like,
everyone's gonna think that's my actual Instagram
It
feed,
is.
but I don't open
I can
Instagram.
confirm. No.
You did say it was unhinged. It's an unhinged feed.
Dude, my actually, what's funny is Rake, one of our analysts, he like was scrolling through his Instagram feed and he saw something that I liked and he's like, dude, this is the most like unhinged brain rot I've ever seen. I was like, yeah, dude, you want to see my feed? And I just occasionally send stuff to him, but he's like, what the fuck is your problem? I'm like, I don't know. So yeah. But like our Gen Z analyst.
Wait, can you post this in off topic?
I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it later. But my Gen Z analyst was like, well, not Gen Z. He's like,
You say Gen Z analysts, like half the analysts are Gen Z.
I know. He's cusp. Anyways. No,
No.
he's Gen
I'm
Z.
cusp.
Oh,
I'm
okay, so
cusp.
he is Gen Z.
96 is cusp.
Okay, so anyways, he's like, dude, what the hell is this brain rot? And I'm like, what's up, dude? Doug and Semionosis. I love the brain rot from. But that's where all those GPUs are going, to feed and give you your nourishing brain rot every single day.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it matters more than getting llama right. Like,
it's slop. The engagement slop works. The incentives
Doug,
are showing.
define the difference between slop and brain rot for those in the audience who don't understand.
Honestly, I couldn't, but I understand the difference.
I think brain rot's more addictive. I think
Brain rot
slop you can notice and move away from.
Yeah, slop. You're like,
Is
oh.
is brain
Interesting,
rot identified?
I think slop is a broader category and brain rot is a subcategory of slop.
Okay, in the slopiverse, which I really want to term, like I think AI will create the slopiverse because it's going to create so much slop, like so much slop, more than you could ever imagine.
Do you think we'll ever get to a point where like slop stops growing and we maybe call it like sloppy toppy? Like,
Fucking Christ, Dylan. All right, I gotta
Can
transition.
you put an analyst
Okay,
on this, Dylan? Can you put an analyst on this?
Speaking of the slopiverse,
The slop analyst.
Sleeping of the slopiverse,
slop.
in C tier we have Google, who I feel like needs a
we'll give
little
him
boost
B.
at this point. But and we got a big.
Yeah, we'll give him B. Is that 2.5?
the Google?
VO3?
Bro, I was
Dude,
gonna say
I would
Google's
say A.
S.
I would say A or
Okay.
S.
I was
Wait,
gonna
wait,
say
wait.
Google's S, bro.
Okay, wait.
I
thought
was
we were doing
fucking sick.
That's fair. Okay, I forgot about VO.
Oh, they're A. They're not A. I don't want to go.
Yeah.
I don't want to go.
We'll go A. We'll go A. And then they have like
Can you show us the
an
image
A
so we
plus?
can-
Like, if we're yeah. Okay, sorry.
All right, so should we just recap? All right, so last time we had
Yeah,
Google and DeepSeek in B tier, Anthropic A tier, and OpenAI S tier.
Yeah, we'll definitely do A tier.
Yeah. I think this is really tough because Claude 4 is fucking fire. So
But-
Grok is B, definitely up from C to D. Meta's still D. Apple is introduced to the L tier.
L tier, yeah.
But then OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google all are doing really well.
Yeah, we had a great month.
We had a great
Like-
month. Well, then the problem is
Actually,
this feels
OpenAI
like
didn't release anything, did they?
This feels like inflation, though.
Did OpenAI release
can
anything?
everything be A? No, we got.
Well, we need one king. We need one company with the mandate of heaven.
Who is the
I think O3 is still the
I
fucking
think
best.
O3 is still the best.
But Opus 4 is incredible. And then 2.5 has just like done so much.
2.5 is the Pareto curve for really freaking cheap and good. There's a chart that we have or whatever, we published it somewhere in one of our products, talking about how like it's the price to performance. Google is always on the curve. Essentially, they set the curve of the best possible performance at any given price.
Yeah.
So,
But nowadays their performance is like only N-1.
yeah,
Right? Like they don't have an O3 Claude 4, but like they have like 3.7 tier coding,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
No one's got anything close to VO. I mean that.
yeah, that's true.
That was a
VO
fun 5-hour
VO
rabbit hole dive.
You spent 5 hours with VO.
Yeah, man.
Wait. Did you
What were you
upload? So
doing
have
in
you
those
uploaded
5
videos, images of yourself, and then said turn it into a rap video? It's so good.
Wait, when I was using it, they only let
Dylan,
you do that
did
for
you do
VO2,
that?
not VO3.
I didn't, but someone else did and
Okay,
sent it to
okay.
me.
Okay.
Well, they
Okay.
emailed it to me. And the best part is like Michelle thought it was noteworthy, so she put it in my Slack DMs, and I'm like, "What is this?"
Well,
And
I
then she's
feel
like,
that's-
"Oh, Dan sent it to you, who's like works at Google," and I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, because they don't have that feature public. You can't for VO3. You can't give it.
okay. Like a prompt or
Yeah, you can't give it a. You can only give it text prompts, not video or image prompts.
Oh,
Which has
okay.
been really frustrating because like I really wanted to have Ezra Klein interviewing Mao as like the ultimate Ezra Klein video podcast, and it only let me do that with VO2. I don't know.
Okay. Also, so sorry. The B tier. Is anyone in the B tier then?
At Grok.
Oh,
Grok
yeah,
upgraded from D to.
and then A tier.
Or sorry, C. Are they C or B?
We up.
I think DeepSeek and
This is where
I think DeepSeek and Grok are in the same tier, even though Grok's model is. No, it's no longer better. Oh fuck! I forgot R10528.
Yeah.
Jesus.
How dare I was about to say.
We kind of skipped all the Chinese players, didn't we?
Yeah, I was gonna
Anyways?
say. Are we gonna add?
So
are we gonna-
Alibaba C,
yeah, Alibaba C.
DeepSeek B, or maybe A. Fuck.
I know, but that's
one-
what I'm saying. There's so many A players. The inflation's insane. That's what I was saying. Is like we got.
But like because you know the target is average is like C or D. By introducing Apple as an L,
Oh, yeah.
you know we've
We're getting
maintained
a
the
You're
Right,
right.
space on the high
You're
end.
right. You're right. The barbell's correct. Okay. Well, we should add the Chinese players. So we'll do Alibaba and then
Alibaba C, I think, is fair.
yeah, Alibaba C is fair.
Because Quen is currently better than Llama, but it's not like absurdly better. It's just like
Yeah.
barely better.
But it's improving at scary rate.
DeepSeek, are they A now? R10528 is good.
So we have 3 A players and a S player. Is that what it is?
Yeah, but I don't think DeepSeek is as good as Claude 4 or Google's models.
But they don't have. Well,
But
they
they're
have some.
constrained on compute, you know.
Yeah.
They're because of the removal of diffusion, they're now renting GPUs in Thailand, in Malaysia, in the US in Europe as well.
Yeah. What's the? Is there a ByteDance model on Micro?
A ByteDance what?
A ByteDance model?
ByteDance has models, yeah,
But
but
it's
I don't
like-
know what they're doing.
Yeah, because I thought
They have a product, but I don't know.
Well, I know they
if
have a
they're-
product.
I've
Yeah.
never seen evals for their models.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
you'd think with all the anyway, maybe that's just.
Well, no, it's like
TikTok.
it's like
It's like
all
a
of it is
Facebook
Rexus.
S dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah, like their engineers
Dude,
are doing better things.
they're all the GPUs are pushing for the sloppy toppy.
That's. Yeah, exactly. They're pushing. For
Jordan,
this-
are you gonna edit that part out?
No.
Please don't. Please don't.
No,
leave
please
it. Leave
don't.
it.
Just one sloppy toppy.
Just one joke.
If we just
Last episode you did so good. You only edited out 1 minute.
Okay, we gotta. It's 80-20 male female for China Talk. I think it's 95-5 for Transistor Radio. I'm just trying to.
we can make it 100.
I'm trying to make it a welcoming audience here. Jesus.
Look.
Well, like I think they'll really enjoy my like the days of lives of Dylan where he's
Yeah.
talking about his failures in dating, right? Like
Yeah, I keep
that's
that in.
gonna
I like
that's gonna
that
appeal
part.
to the 20
That's resonant.
because they're like, oh, I'll definitely never date that guy because he's like crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe.
Also, just to be clear, the
Well-
character on Transistor Radio / China Talk is just a character. I'm a normal person.
Yes. Sorry, that was too easy.
No, I could be professional, man. I even have a blazer today.
He does have a blazer.
It's not a it's a
looking-
patterned
dressing
blazer.
really well.
He
does
he's
dress
act,
very well.
I will say I'm really proud of you, Dylan. You can tell the difference.
You're taking swings.
You're taking
swings.
and they're
with the fashion.
and you're biting like it's biting. Like you're doing a very good job.
Yeah.
So the term I learned from my friend is apparently it's called serving cunt.
Yes. it
Like
is
when
serving
you're
cunt.
dressed really well and
Yes,
like it's
you're
like
serving
good.
cunt. Yes. I mean, I guess, but we now have look, Jordan just exhaled.
The women will know that term.
Jordan
the
just
men
exhaled
won't.
because this has gone from like explicit to like super explicit. So Transistor Radio, we're stuck in the 100 and 0.
No, but it's like
category.
explicitly a term that only my Gen Z female
Yeah.
cousins knew, and
Okay.
literally no one else.
Okay. Well,
Slay Queen.
yeah. We got another topic?
Back to ByteDance.
Oh, Tencent, bro, where's
Oh, yeah,
Tencent?
yeah, that's what. Okay, so yeah, Tencent.
Tencent ByteDance are like,
Tense another L.
are they
tier?
L? Are they L? No, I think they're better than that.
No.
I think they're
Or
better.
Ernie is Tencent,
Tencent
right?
just
Yeah,
adopted
No,
DeepSeek
Ernie's
stuff, right?
Ernie's Baidu.
Oh, Baidu. Okay, Baidu will put like below. We'll put like
D.
F tier.
F.
Yeah, I think Baidu will put F tier.
Okay.
Again, that's a promotion. If you're Baidu, you weren't on the list last time. You should be proud of yourselves.
Why are you pandering to Baidu right now?
Dude,
know.
it's China
They listen
talk.
to the
He no longer has
pod.
U.S. aid funding. He has to get funding from the big fund in China.
This is this goes on China Talk. Sorry.
And then he edits out our slander.
Okay,
you know?
China Talk social credit score. I can see the future. Anyways, yeah. So Baidu is now, yeah, and then who else we got?
What's
Tencent
next for OpenAI?
I mean,
don't know.
you can't go up from S, right? Like,
cooking GPUs.
No, but they got real competition now. We've got.
04 is gonna be a banger, bro.
Okay.
Do you know?
I heard some stuff yesterday about the successor to
What about?
to Orion. I'm excited.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna. Okay, that was actually my question. When do we know is the next big run? I mean, it should be like.
I mean, they're just doing RL runs constantly, right?
Yeah.
But
Like,
they have a pre-training run as well as like a big RL runs, and like yeah, I mean, I think like 04 like. The scale of compute for those runs is still quite small relative to like the size of an Orion pre-training run, or not quite small. It's like getting up there, right? Like Orion being GPT 4.5, being like the most expensive training run ever.
Is this Middle East stuff? It's just all inference, right? You can't train a model half in Texas and half in
Yeah, you can.
the UAE. Really?
RL from our scaling laws post where everyone was like, "Oh, scaling laws are dead." He's like, "No, you idiot, they're not dead." Pre-training. Hard to distribute across continents. You can do it across data centers. You have dickloads of fiber between them.
Yeah.
Right. But hence like the $10+ billion of deals with all the fiber companies that these companies have done. But with RL, right, reinforcement learning, but verifiable rewards, you can do the token generation and verification in anywhere in the world. And then you're not streaming weights and activations. You're
Yeah.
streaming just final tokens that were verified. So very little data relatively, right? And those tokens can be, today they're text, but they can be actions, images, videos, etc. as well as we move forward. But like,
Yeah.
you can stream this across data centers, and the bandwidth requirements are not that insane. And so OpenAI is totally going to train in the Middle East, right? For people who don't, and they're not going to do pre-training in the Middle East, but they're going to generate tokens
Yeah.
and verify them in the Middle East and then send them back.
Okay.
Also, just heads up, we'll have something about this soon. I gotta.
Oh yeah, RL post.
Yeah, RL post soon. Coming
Soon,
soon,
TM.
TM.
Well, this week.
Maybe even tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe even
Or even
tomorrow.
today.
Depends on.
Who knows?
I actually don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
Actually, I do know it won't be. It will probably be tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. Also. Yeah. No. Whatever. Let's keep going. Keep going. Any more topics for our boy China to talk?
John,
John, what do you think?
What's up?
What? Did we finish this tier? This tier ladder?
Can we talk about?
What's the final tier ladder?
Yeah,
Well, S tier.
S
Oh,
tier.
yeah.
OpenAI S tier.
OpenAI.
Okay, should we recap?
Yeah. Recap it from the top.
OpenAI S tier, Google, DeepSeek, Anthropic A tier, B tier has no one, it has Grok.
Yeah.
C tier has Alibaba, D tier has Meta, F tier has
Baidu.
ByteDance, L tier has Apple.
Yeah. Oh, we forgot Baidu also F tier. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ernie? No, I think Baidu's
Where?
worse. I think Baidu's worse.
F tier.
Yeah, okay, fine.
L tier is
Where does Mistral go?
Somewhere between L and F.
No, we'll give him F tier.
Okay, fine. We'll give him F tier. We'll give Mistral F tier.
Oof.
F for France.
All right. Lock that down for next quarter.
Yeah, lock it down for next quarter.
John, what's on your mind?
What's on my mind?
Now we go to our live correspondence in Taiwan. John.
Yeah. I'm walking in a room. I got nothing to talk about. Just listen to you crazies.
We're not even crazy.
What have you been doing over there? I get this. I just see messages in the group chat. It's
Yeah,
just
let's get some.
this-
Let's get some
this
Doug
event
Dillon
happening.
DC impressions. How's our
We're dealing and
How's our
wheeling.
national
So we
security
hosted. We
establishment?
co-hosted a event yesterday.
Oh yeah, we had like 125 people.
It was sick.
It's great. Great energy.
And it was an event that we didn't have to pay for, which was great because we started hosting these events like happy hours at ML conferences or happy hours at like data center at Computex, etc.
Even like client stuff in New York.
Yeah. which I'm like, Doug, like the clients can pay for it. You don't have to pay for it. Come on, man. Come on. We got to push those.
You buy these people
expenses down.
drinks?
Yeah, occasionally.
Occasionally, yeah. But I'm joking on that one last bit. So like, it's interesting because this one was free,
Yeah.
And I do think you get what you pay for. I'm just kidding. It was good.
It's called Distributed Meetup.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was at a beer garden. I think there were a lot of people who believe that the Senate bill for Chip Security Act is a good idea, and I think they're all completely wrong.
You want to go through the reasoning, but to be clear, my vibe from the chip security thing is it feels like it's happening. That's all I got.
So in and of itself, it's actually not a bad thing. It's just useless, right? Like these things won't actually work. Phoning home doesn't work. You can spoof that super easily. Re-exporting is super easy. They're like, oh, but the first time you turn it on, it'll phone home. It's like, yeah, the first time you turn it on, turns on in China, and the IP tunnels to wherever the fuck you want in Europe or LATAM or Asia or Middle East.
By the way, my impression is literally the plan is, they know they're not gonna catch it, but they just need someone to mess up once, and they're like, see, there is smuggling. That's why we need even more tighter controls.
So I think it's the flip side though, right? Like, which is. We already know they're smuggling. You can buy,
to be clear, but that's like, and agreed. Yes, there's clear, like you can just go take a flight to freaking China and you're like crazy.
Did I tell the story about how there was a guy who flew first class?
Yeah.
Constantly back and forth between China, and he'd take one server with him every single time or two servers, check them in and take a first class flight. You buy the server for like $240K here, and you sell it for like $290K there, and you're like $50K richer, and your first class flight is like $5.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got some free drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, not even like a China Talk semi-analysis DC meetup.
Yeah.
I do think it was very funny because the China Talk semi-analysis meetup had similar ratios, even though we're in DC, similar ratios to most SF parties. No.
I'm gonna blame you guys for bringing it down.
We have a 95-5 ratio. What can we say?
No, we invited like 10 people.
This is Jordan. This is your stronghold.
Fair.
I think Sunday you put in our Slack like, hey, like, do you guys want to co-host this? I'm like, make me host on Partyful, and then I proceeded to send like to 5 people.
Okay.
And then
like, you tweeted it.
I tweeted it, but like 5 people, 10 people linked or signed up when I tweeted it. Oh, people LinkedIn'd it? I don't know.
Anyways, not important. Thanks so much for coming, everyone.
Thank you. It was great. It was great.
Weather was great.
Except for the people who believe in the Chip Security Act, because NVIDIA is just going to use that as ammo to reduce restrictions. And even though you think idealistically that's not going to happen, that's what's going to happen. Is you're going to pass this act, and it's going to be ammo to reduce restrictions in other ways, or not ratchet them up further.
I have a NVIDIA question for you. So, can they be making, when they were spending all this time making the H20, like, was there not a way for them to, like, was this just a way to keep market share in China, or was that actually like a profit maximizing use of wafer capacity?
So the margins on H20 are lower than on H200 or H100. NVIDIA literally has a higher markup for non-Chinese customers than they do Chinese customers.
Yeah.
No, obviously they're pricing to value, and the H20 is weaker than an H200, right?
So why are they even doing? I mean, it's just like a long-term play.
They still make a lot of, like, hey, you too would take $8 billion in a quarter.
But if I turn those into H100s, would I not make?
They wouldn't have sold them.
They wouldn't have sold them.
Okay.
Their operating profit from just Q1 was like $5 billion, dude.
Yeah.
From China sales. Yeah, and if they didn't have to write down a shitload of inventory, Q2 they would have sold like they would have had like $13 to $15 billion of revenue, and they would have had like 7-8 of fucking operating profit, right? Like,
so and then like, and remember
that's a lot.
That is like larger than the like a
Intel's profit for the last decade.
That's like literally a top 25 S&P 500 company.
Okay, but
my favorite is that like AirPods alone are a fucking like top 10 S&P company or some shit.
Yeah. So anyways,
but to be clear, so why could they have not like there's not demand out there for H100s.
There's not data centers.
There's not data centers and power. Like when you're selling to the world, at some point in time, your TAM is the world, and so like you just lose part of your TAM. You can and it's not, and this is a statement of like there isn't a shortage of making chips. Like TSMC, like it's not even like the biggest customer. Maybe it is, but closing. No, I don't even think it's closing in on the biggest customer on a wafer basis. So it's just like
I think they'll be biggest customer for sure next year. I got to look at the models for this.
Anyways, but like they're just like, okay, well we can get more and we can sell more to someone, and it isn't the highest profit margin, but it's like you can't really sell and we've had this like all this work on H100s, like specifically right now, H100s are in this like ridiculous bathtub, like you're going to be underwater if you purchase them. So everyone is waiting for the Bs.
Purchase them and rent them out.
Rent them out, yeah. And so everyone's just waiting for the Blackwell series, and so NVIDIA's shifting it. They have some it's depreciated, not a completely depreciated supply chain, but like a very cheap supply chain, and you're like, it's just like this thing where it's like you're trying to maximize revenue. Everyone's shifting orders elsewhere. There is a second market. Like, yeah, it's not as profitable, but it is also not a chump. Like, your optimization for maximum gross profit dollars is you should be selling to China as well.
Okay.
NVIDIA's not evil. They're just profit maximizing enterprise. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Which is a good American trait in the Church of Capitalism.
All right, we got 10 more minutes in this booth. We got to make the most of it.
Okay. We're beatboxing?
Yo, welcome. We on China Talk today.
That's for you, Jordan.
Nice.
Jordan loves beatboxing.
Rude.
That is my favorite. I went to Jordan's birthday, got to see a glimpse into his friends and family. Not that I'm one of his friends, but I got a really great little invitation. It was awesome. And everyone was like, oh yeah, Jordan loves beatboxing. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And not loved beatboxing, like obsessive drive to beatbox. And I love that because now it's just all spent in China Talk. But in another life, he's doing beatbox.
It was like an amazing 8 to 14 ADD substitute.
And who here doesn't have ADD? In this
actually,
podcast, it's John.
so since being in California a lot more now, I constantly hear people overhear people oh, I'm ADHD. Oh, I'm autistic. And I'm like, no, I'm neurotypical. I'm mentally stable. Like, what is wrong with you?
I will say, man, you say that, but dog, there was this one meeting we had where I was like, Dylan is the single most ADHD human being I've ever met. Like,
unmedicated though.
Well, no, because there's the Elon tier of you do it and then you take all the drugs to lower whatever your latent attention, which is already degraded by 30 years. Mm-hmm. Further. So I think that's truly the next level.
Sure. Okay.
Commitment to the cause.
I just gotta say I will not hear Dylan slander himself and say he's neurotypical.
No, I'm super mentally stable though. You're far less mentally stable.
Whoa, we're throwing out stable genius.
Bro, we literally joked about this. We talked about this.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm mostly memeing. Anyways, yeah, sorry.
The anxiety is real. Everyone around me at Seven Analysis has way more anxiety than I do.
Of course you do. You're the boss.
No, but it's about things that aren't worth being anxious about.
I'm with you, man. I don't. The people with the anxiety, I'm just you don't need no one's making you
okay.
If you're anxious or not, it'll still happen. Just do it.
I do agree with that, but there's some times where let's not have this conversation right now. There's sometimes you do have to care about some things, and recently I haven't had
to care about some things, but
I also.
It doesn't help anyone to get anxious about it.
You're healthy now. Worry about that. Now we're not.
There's some context,
okay.
dude. I can process stress now that I'm healthy.
Okay. That's fair.
I could not process stress.
Yeah.
Until very recently. I'm much happier.
Okay.
Respectfully.
Great.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Anyways, John, what do you think about that?
John's a worrywart
You guys are
too.
all crazy.
Wait, John's
John
not
is
such
a
a worrywart, but his girlfriend is a super worrywart. She
Really?
worries about me like my mom worries about me. It's incredible.
But that's loving worry. That's
I
not
know.
That's
Also-
not shaken to your core
You know what's
worry.
funny is Dylan talking about all his wives, or potential
wives?
wives,
Bro,
yeah.
I just
Sorry.
want one. I just want one.
Anyways, but Dylan also has this this since he goes through the world so carefree, people do worry about him because he's like, dude, what the F? And then essentially, so he attracts like definitely some female worry. That's like a thing. That's a thing. Dylan attracts female worry.
You outsource your worriness to other people. I've met Michelle. Michelle looks constantly worried for you.
No, she's pretty chill compared to Doug and others.
Dude, this is freaking slander, dog.
I think she's pretty chill. I think we've like DM'd about like, you know, like Doug's worrying about this too much right now. I'm like, yeah, I'll DM him.
Okay, but this is slander. I'm just getting slandered on this podcast today in this slander booth.
No, but like I think like I have friends and family who worry about me a lot and
for valid reasons.
No, I think sometimes not for valid reasons.
There's a spectrum.
There's a spectrum. Like it's like you know, it's like.
Okay, wait.
We got one more content push.
I got dropped off at the airport on Sunday night by someone who I've seen a few times. They dropped me off at the airport, but they were stressing about like the time of my flight. I'm like, I got to the airport 40 minutes before my flight. I got onto the plane 13 minutes before.
I completely agree on the flight thing, dude. Like you can roll up like.
I hate that shit.
Anyways,
I hate that shit.
Yeah.
Because then it takes 40 minutes of your life of stress.
No, just
that's like 3 hours of aging
on your phone.
No, because you got to run from here to there, and then you got to like
someone
run.
has to check the Slack.
You got to like talk to the
That's
person
perfect Slack time.
who's like and like cut to the front of the line. I feel very uncomfortable doing that.
No, you don't have to do any of those things.
You just
do
completely
TSA
zone
pre-clear.
the hell out.
You go through the line. You walk to your gate, and you board the plane immediately.
Okay. Anyways,
Can we talk about just the being in person energy? Like, I totally get it. This is great. Like,
it is a better. This might actually be one of our best podcasts because the banter is pretty solid.
There's just no lag. It's like we're just in the same.
There's no internet issues.
Yeah.
Audio quality is good.
Audio
John,
quality is
John,
almost too
fuck
good.
you, bro. You're not even here.
Yeah, John.
You didn't fly out for this?
Yeah, what? You didn't fly out for this conference? God.
I'm just listening, man. I'm the first to listen to this podcast.
He's actually the first listener of this podcast. There's one.
That's really fucking sad. We have a live audience. Can you give us like a live audience sounds?
Yeah, you want
like a sitcom? This is a sitcom, John.
Yeah. Oh, that's a pretty weak clap. But okay, let's actually take a question from the audience. John, what do you got for us? 'Cause we have one more content.
To the handsome man
to the handsome man in
over
front.
there.
Yeah, John from New York, age 22. I'm just want to know.
Why do you sound like you're 60, bro?
You sound like you're 65.
Bro,
That was
you
your
sound
Gen Z accent. Like,
you sound like if you took all of Doug's stress about work and Jordan's stress about missing airplane flights and put it into someone for 22 years. That's that voice.
Okay, okay, but we ragged him before he got his question out. What's your question, Mr.
Shit,
John?
man, I forgot it, man.
Okay,
What do you guys want to do before you leave?
Dude, I'm like catching a train right after this.
I'm gonna
And we
sell
also
one
need
ad.
those I need that drops of alpha for the actual listeners who have stuck through this whole
Oh
thing.
yeah. What's the drops of alpha? I only have like something from this conference. I only have one obsession weird thing. It's not.
Pete Hegseth actually good. He like cares about the allies in the Pacific. At least that's like half of the world. I'll take it. Better than caring about none of the allies.
Dang.
Shout out Pete.
Shout out Pete.
There's things that are high
fill this
alpha that I
man's-
don't want to share, but I guess like something that AMD's got a big new customer that I'm really happy about.
Whoa, that's extreme alpha. Wow. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Wait, Doug, yesterday I heard someone bought a house. Tell me about this story. Someone told you.
Oh my God. Sorry. Okay, so one of my favorite things is on the Discord, and like some people are like, yeah, this fabricated knowledge guy knows what he's about, and thank you, appreciate any of the support. But like, okay, I've had some good calls in my life, and App 11 is probably numero uno. That was an what? Sorry, that was an amazing call for like, wait, bought a house? What are we talking about?
So first of all, I was showing him because I had Googled Ezra Klein earlier in the show and I didn't know who that
Oh,
was,
okay,
and I was
wait,
showing him.
oh,
I was like,
wait,
I don't know who that is.
Oh, wait.
But then you're someone told me yesterday that you told them, or you had a conversation where like someone told you that they bought a house or something.
Yes, from App 11.
Yeah,
dude.
why are you showing this?
Yeah, that
Okay.
was very confusing.
That was ADHD.
restart.
It was ADHD
So
brain.
restart. Okay, so essentially, love the listeners out there have been told, hey, Fabricated Knowledge knows what he's talking about, great stuff, appreciate the hype. But The best thing I've ever done for sure was the AppLovin call that I did on yet another value blog, and that
was not a
That was another
Can't
podcast. It was like not a semi-hardcore
Wait,
stock.
you had a separate Substack for a little bit.
And actually I gave it to my friend. He still does it. He does the compensation stuff still. But like I think he's.
Oh, the Substack's still going?
Yeah, but it's his now. Like I completely was like, hey, congratulations, have it for free. And I think he's getting a job. Ooh, sucks.
On this or different?
Different.
Because he's like chilling in Santa Barbara and shit. Like,
He's in the Irvine. Anyways,
tell the story.
So TLDR, AppLovin, greatest pitch I've ever made. I made a lot of
What's
money
the
from
company
it. Once upon a time, it's like an ad tech company. It's very sketchy because they make the mobile game apps. They're extremely gamified. You talk about Slop, they're like king of Slopiverse.
Oh yeah, these are the ones where you can't actually
Sloppy
exit
copies.
out.
Yeah, 100%.
Like
Yeah.
there's an X button, you click it and it fucking goes. It's an impression. It's a fucking click through, and you're like, you fucking bastard.
Yeah, so anyways, all in all, this ad company, which owned a lot of their own games, everyone's like, oh, these impressions are all fake. They did this exceedingly ridiculously aggressive compensation thing. Yet another value blog. I talked about it. You can listen to that whole thing. It's pretty good. I pitched at like $13-14 a share. It's a $300 stock right now. And so that's awesome. I made a lot of money. I think my average out was like, my average out's like probably mid 200s, low 200s, something like that. I made a lot of money on calls multiple times. But someone made a lot of money on calls. Like a house in Europe money on calls. Wait,
that's only like $200,000.
No, like a $2 million like
Like a true villa.
like a villa.
Actually, that's what someone said yesterday. They said villa, and I'm
I believe if they were a listener, that I have a standing offer for a nice dinner in New York. Appreciate it, but man, does that create some FOMO? Because you know what, that could have been me if I just yeeted my entire life into calls, but. Here I am. I tell everyone who listens, I do it because of the love of the game. I could have retired, but I'm here because I love the game so much. I don't want to quit.
I don't think you could have retired, bro.
Oh, I could have retired, dude. The 15 to 300 thing in conviction with size with enough options, you could have retired.
In general, could have retired. Like if you had went YOLO'd in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you meant just generally you could be retired right now.
Yeah. No. I don't think that's what I'm saying. I do it for the love of the game. What do you think I'm gonna do, huh? If I have a lot of free time, all of a sudden I'm gonna be like, huh, this is something really interesting, and then all of a sudden I'll be like, maybe I'll start writing about this on the internet. And I was like, oh, maybe, like literally, I talk about this with my girlfriend, and she's like, dude, you can't retire. You're just gonna be like really obsessed with something, and all of a sudden be like, babe, I have to drop my entire life and go do X, Y, Z. And that's probably what will happen. But yeah, AppLovin, I gotta say, I don't have a villa in Europe, and that makes me a little sad. But I do it for the love of the game.
Yeah. I don't know if that per se dinner is going to make you feel better or worse.
I'll always take a free dinner.
Okay.
You gotta hustle, man. It's called cash on cash return. I didn't pay for it.
Right. Should we call it there?
Yeah, no, we'll call it there. Thank you for listening to the Transistor Radio China Talk crossover. Once again, live from SCSP. Plus John, our first listener.
And don't cut everything out, Jordan.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The censors. I can feel your censorship. This is China Talk because it's highly censored. You know? It's as if we were talking in China and then the censors were here, except for he's also on the podcast.
It's just, I'm like PG-13, okay?
Okay, so can you leave the stuff about us talking about the
to title
censorship
this
at least?
Sloppy Toppy?
Yeah. Just throw in some beeps, dude.
All right,
Yeah, throw in a
if you
beep.
want- If you want,
Sloppy.
No, add the beeps. Add the beeps. Jordan, that'll be so good.
Come on. Just every 4 words be like beep, beep, beep,
No, we didn't
beep.
curse that much.
Yeah.
There were like 5 jokes. No, there were like 4 jokes.
Yeah.
All right, I'll see if AI. There's now like an AI feature in my editor where you can just tell it to do things, and so if I can say put the beeps here and the beeps
Oh,
emerge,
good luck.
then we'll
see.
keep it in.
You should put some beeps.
Yeah,
in.
it's tough for Jordan to have a full-time video editor, podcast editor now that USAID cut his funding.
I'm open for business. What can I say?
Yeah.
Sign the letter.
Yeah.
DM me. Save science.
Why don't you do China Talk podcast ads?
What? People need to buy the ads.
He's selling. That's what he said.
I'm trying to selling ads. I'm trying to sell ads.
Buy the accelerator model, buy the data center model, buy the AITCO model, buy core
John's
research.
fucking
analysis.
Patreon.
Oh, John's Patreon.
Oh, John's Patreon. Yeah. We should have a special interest too.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Some charity, probably for autistic people. That's semi-analysis as well, actually.
Wait. One last thing before we sign off. Yesterday, Doug said this, and I was like, wow, this resonates. He's like, semi-analysis is like,
The home for lost toys.
which is like such a good analogy, because like we're all just like lost.
We're lost toys, and we're all beautiful, beautiful toys. A little broken, but pretty good and fun to play with.
Can you imagine the delta of what we've just recorded over the past hour versus whatever the hell else is going to go on in this podcast studio over the next 3 days?
Yeah, they're gonna be like, what do you think? Well, the thing about China and AI is that it's really dangerous, and we need to do something soon. It's like, I completely agree.
I'm a 55-year-old congressional staffer, or like I'm a 20-year-old congressional staffer who did poli-sci. Obviously, you can restrict chips to China by just putting the software on them, and I trust NVIDIA to make the software work perfectly, and I trust China's to not be able to crack it. Let's make a bill out of it.
Dylan, okay, so my trip in DC, I'm not joking, that was like the way more interesting conversations. There's like way more boring conversations where they're like, this could impact everything.
Well, the fact that you don't know who Ezra Klein is, Dylan, I think is like, I want to keep it like that. This is good for you.
It's good. I know who he is. I've never primarily or secondarily consumed his content.
Wow.
Yeah. I know that I can just see Jordan's little brain blowing up. But you also don't
You don't
know.
Understand? We've read semiconductor textbooks. Like,
I'm trying to think of like
no time for just like
who would be like the equivalent on my side. There's probably some finance weirdo sicko.
I mean, Matt Levine. Not knowing who Matt Levine is.
No,
That's
Matt
like,
Levine is like everyone knows Matt Levine.
Yeah, Matt.
Well, way more people know who Ezra Klein is than know who Matt Levine is.
No shot.
Can
Name one notable thing that Ezra Klein has done?
He literally got Biden to drop out.
I thought that was his
Wasn't
like
that
brain
George Clooney?
damage.
Well, no, he was the
He's
first
like-
person who was
he's the
screaming
first
about
person
it.
It wasn't the Republicans.
Republicans? No, the
No,
Republicans.
Republicans probably wouldn't have wanted.
No, they
him
wanna
to
keep
stay
him in.
Yeah.
No, I thought they were constantly like Biden can't run. He's mentally unfit.
Yeah, and then once he did the debate, they want him to stay in. They're like, like the people voted for Biden. They didn't vote for Kamala in the primary.
So Ezra Klein is some liberal left wing. Sorry.
He founded Vox. He
Isn't Vox dead? He fucking sucks.
Yeah, no, he got out while the getting was good. He sold his shares, or maybe he didn't sell his shares. I don't know.
Okay,
Vox
so-
is like still alive, which is I'm happy for them.
The
Well-
YouTube channel is fine.
I literally haven't consumed Fox either.
Okay.
I've just like truly just completely hands up. I just don't consume
It's
that.
shown up
However,
in my
this
YouTube
after
recs.
conversation can be just as good as our regular conversation. Is this still recording?
Yeah, I hope
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still cooking, dude. This is the after show, actually. Welcome to the after
Yeah.
show.
What is life as an educated person who doesn't consume Ezra Klein? I don't think I know. Like, there's.
Dude, I
Wow.
read books and I learn about finance. You want to know my
Dude,
obsessions?
I
right
work
now?
on useful
Yeah,
shit.
work on like your semiconductor.
What is the
stuff.
point in reading about politics shit? Like,
Do you know
it's like a
anything
waste of
about-
time most
do
of
you
the time.
disaggregated whatchamacallit?
Prefill?
Prefill, yeah. I'm learning about that right now. I'm learning about SMRs. I'm learning about like defense funding in Europe or crap. I'm learning about like 3D printed crap. I'm learning about some printer thing.
I don't know, but some people got to save
you
the
stick
immigrants.
Rheinmetall
You can't
still-
save
Taking
the
a
immigrants
glass
with
blowing
that.
class. Like, come on, bro. Like,
Oh, Rheinmetall? Is that what I just heard? Is that EU defense?
Yeah, Rheinmetall. Yeah, I bought a bunch of Rheinmetall.
It probably
Oh, you're
works.
really late to this.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I was a little earlier to this one. Everyone's like, oh, isn't Europe spending going to go down when the war ends? And I'm like, it's a low percent of GDP. Honestly, John, I personally really like the Japanese guys now. 7011, 7012, 7013.
What is this?
Those are the...
Wait, first of all, why are all the tickers incrementally +1?
So, Jay, I have, okay, actually, want to know one of my things I did? There's a Japanese company handbook, and I read it, like, maybe 75% of it. So, you read through them, and you know the tickers, but actually there was originally supposed to be order from the thousands to the 9,000s.
Oh, it's like NAIC codes.
Yes.
Wow.
But,
Jordan, do you know NAIC codes off the top of your head? Yeah, you fucking read Ezra Klein. Obviously you don't.
yeah. I actually don't know any NASC. Actually, I know a few of them. That's just a little fucked up. But okay. So there was originally supposed to be order. Okay, the ones are actually builders, but then all of a sudden there's like a builder software company, and then they're like, this is a building company that pivoted to whatever. The twos I think are like food and retail. The threes I think are like materials, like just general like coal stuff. But yeah, anyways, there's like order to all this. But yeah,
then they all became conglomerates.
yeah,
and then one part of the company
exactly.
succeeded, and so,
so
like,
there'll be like little like streaks where like all the sevens are heavy industry, like these like maybe 100 companies in a row, and then it goes back to like a farming company. Like it's really weird and
That's really
spastastic.
funny.
But you could see in the beginning how
so
the order began.
the defense companies 701, 702, 703, or
Yeah.
whatever the heck,
Yeah, yeah.
7701.
Yeah, yeah.
2, 3. What do they do?
One is Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, so they also make turbines, but they also do the missiles, and they also do a lot of missiles. And then number 2 is a heavy shipbuilding LNG company, but they also have some of the engine parts for GE. And then number 3, which is my favorite, 7013, it does some nuclear crap. Loses a crap ton of money on another business, and then on top of that they also do shipbuilding. But the thing that's more interesting is like 50% of the revenue makes negative profit, and they gave the commitment to quit. They're like, I'm out.
What is that business?
Oh, dude, they're like all over the world, the random stuff. There's like an agriculture business in there. I don't even know. Like I was explaining, it was like it's
my favorite stock. I don't know what half the company does.
No,
favorite
this is
stock.
the Japanese thing is like they just like didn't care about profit for decades.
100%. And so what happens is they have this giant conglomerate that makes no money. But if you sell, like the math is really great. If you sell or stop making no money, you make a lot of money. Like that's it. And they actually said we're gonna sell and stop making no money.
I really like 1 and 2. 3 is like whatever. Like that's a finance bro pitch. But
Yeah.
1 and 2 are like, damn.
No, but they also do, and then, there's like missiles and shipbuilding, and Japan's like rearming, and they're also selling their stuff to other people. And there's another company in Korea, Hanwha, that does rearmament.
Hanwha does rearmament and TCB bonders?
Yes.
Bro.
But these are two different
The
companies.
synergies.
There are two different companies within like the Hanwha. Like, you
Like
know,
the ticker is 1, though.
no, it's two different companies.
No,
They're two
it's
different.
like a Chable. It's like a Chable.
It's a Chable. So they're
It
like
was a Chable. Yeah.
yeah. There's like a Sam.
yeah,
it's like the
this is Korean
Samsung.
companies.
It's like the Samsung.
Also, you don't make money in the
family.
Korean market, so
Yeah,
like.
yeah. Korean markets are not a scam, but who knows? Okay.
Oh, Mitsui book. You gotta pitch that.
Dude, the Mitsui book, man, I really enjoyed the first half, and I just kind of ran out of steam.
That's fine. It actually got.
I know you were like all stoked about it, but I like ancient business because like the new business stuff, I'm like, okay, whatever, fine. I like kind of see how this
Yeah,
works.
no. I think by 1900, it sort of.
Yeah, by
Because then it's just like, yeah, they were like criminals and like killed a lot of Chinese people. Like,
Yeah, they
of
did-
course they were.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's like, oh, crazy. I'm more interested in like ancient business. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like they're talking about how like they had a giant reorganization of this business in like the 1800s where they're like, we have to scale out from one family into many family. And then they like all made P&Ls and all this kind of stuff, and then they actually like the concept of professional management and like accounting. That was really interesting to me.
Yeah.
Because like that's like ancient business. Like as far as I have no viewpoint into ancient business. Like there's no annual report about how to run a business from the 1700s, and that's as good as I got, and I really enjoyed that part of it.
Yeah, and the whole like trust thing about like how you hire the managers, which are all sort of like children or married into the families, and then you like adopt the good ones to like become sons, even
Yep.
if they marry your daughters. I
Yep.
mean, it's this fascinating like.
Dude, that's like I'm sure you can talk.
Wait, are we talking about caste systems? I zoned out.
Jesus. No, we're talking about the.
No, there were cats because they were they
Yep,
they
the
were like
samurai, yep.
fallen samurai.
Yeah, no,
because
they
they're
quit.
like
They quit being samurai because they literally. One dude was like, "I see that the future of like war is through business," and so he like quit his samurai thing and became. But then also on top of that, they like literally like funded the Tokugawa thing, right? Like
Yeah,
they were
that was awesome.
Yeah, they were like the banker that pushed it through. Like whenever they're like resettling all the debts, they essentially were like the one that got to do the consolidation / ended up being the. Yeah, no, it's really cool. It's like very banker / I don't know. It was. I really enjoyed the ancient business part of it, but the more modern it became, the more I was like, yeah, this is boring. I don't care what like one random insurance from like a fire or like I don't know.
yeah. Shout out Mitsui Empire.
Yeah.
Check out the book. It's great.
And if you go to Japan, Mitsui's everywhere.
It's much
yeah,
better
you
than
see the
Ezra Klein.
sign.
Yeah.
You're
What?
right. It's better than Ezra Klein. This book's way better than Ezra Klein.
Yeah, see, like, dude, this is your intellectual
I'm never
brain
gonna
rot.
read anything about
Well,
this
he
guy. I'm
kind of
just gonna
broke.
hate on him.
Well, he was on my show and he kind of broke my heart. I don't
Wait,
know.
Ezra Klein came on your show?
Yeah.
Holy shit, you had guests less relevant than us.
You're welcome.
Dude, I'm gonna hate on this guy so much and never consume his content. It is gonna be a part of the brand.
I am so here for the Ezra Klein Dylan Patel
Also,
beef.
I was gonna say, I hope there's beef and Ezra gets really into it, and Dylan's like, "Who are you?"
I don't think about you at all.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure neither of us would think about each other because I focus on industries that matter, and he focuses on, I'm not sure.
Lib feelings. I think that's his main.
Dude,
main
there was
line.
what's that
There's a
guy's
big
name?
market for
Bill
lib
Mayer or
feelings.
whatever. What's his name?
Yeah. Bill Maher.
Bill Maher, the TV guy.
Yeah.
I saw a video of him. It was pretty banger. Like, apparently, left-wing people think that the Palestinian flag is a symbol of freedom. I was shocked. I mean, not that like I think Palestine shouldn't be like genocided, obviously, but like also like
Yeah. I'm gonna.
yeah.
I gotta.
You gotta edit this out. You gotta edit
No.
this out.
I was in Tel Aviv earlier this month. I'm writing a write-up. I feel like I can't do off the cuff Israel talk, but I can write
Yeah.
Israel.
I also like Israel. Just to be clear, all my homies. Look,
No,
Yeah, I
it's
can
really
feel
tough. It's
Jordan
tough.
tightening.
I
up
got all
here.
this ice on my neck, but
No.
but
No.
it is real, right? All this jewelry's real. It's real.
Oh, I thought you were going way more anti-Semitic with that.
No,
I'll take the
it was
puns,
just
Dylan.
It was just
The
in
puns we
Israel,
can do.
like this gold on me is real.
Oh my god. Okay.
Okay.
Honestly, we had like a pretty good podcast there. It was a really good
There was
podcast.
nothing cancelable, right? I gave the most middle of the road take possible.
No, I
about
no.
Palestine
It's
and
more.
Israel.
It's just more about the flow into the splat, and then we're like, see you later. It was nice listening to you on Transistor Radio
and China talk,
and China Talk.
where it's censored.
Yeah, censorship talk.
All right, I'm pressing the button.
Bye.